Hello, I'm Christopher McGee with Moor Society Incorporated, the premier nonprofit organization dedicated to the cultural and ethnic education of Black Americans. This is the making of a Moor man. This program is designed specifically to bring newcomers up to speed and share with those who have some interest the perspective that the Moor Society will take in terms of its research and development of a more genuine African American culture. This institution had created the United Tribes of Ancient Africa to be a primary institution within the Moor Society umbrella where men would work together to each one teach one, explore the life journey of a man, and to engage each stage of his development with as much support, training, and education as possible. The making of a Moor man will focus on the time a man spends in the womb as embryo and fetus, from birth to year one, the infant man, from 1 to 4, the infant baby, from 5 to 10 years of age, being the female woman child, the 5 to 12 being the male man child. We will focus on those years 12 to 16, primarily adolescence. We will closely observe Eric Erickson's 20 to 39 year of young adult. Then we'll look at the transition period, the young adult male, the middle adult male, the late adult male. Our primary targets will be the cusp, those transitional periods that link childhood to puberty, puberty to adolescence, adolescence to young adulthood to middle adulthood, and so on. The idea is to prepare training that will, at each stage, observe the years of development before, focus on studying, exploring the current stage of development while acquiring the prerequisites necessary for the future stage of development. Our goal is to put the life of Black men under a microscope and explore every aspect of our growth and development and come up with a proactive and progressive approach to teaching and educating our men. Now, this institution, like the African village, will focus on that particular sex. But as you can imagine, there'll be times when the information will be common on both sides of the table. Now, when we explore the life of the man, we'll be looking at the many hats that he is to wear whether you're talking about civic responsibilities in his community, the responsibilities he has in his family, immediate family, extended family. We're going to look at our institutions of socialization and the roles that men must play, from church and school to mass media to how we interact with our peers. The idea here is to create a system of education for that school that caters to a man's development. Now, the making of a Moor man, this was created specifically to give people insight into the different things that the Moor Society as an organization will target, the focal point of its members in terms of developing a more advanced way of life. We will also, as you can imagine, explore the pillars on which we develop as men and women. We will focus on our hormonal exchange, our sexual and reproductive development, our metabolism, and how we function in nature. Putting under a microscope a men's sexual and reproductive development, we will get into the male menstrual cycle, the male menstrual cycle, and the changes that men experience, and how sexual and reproductive and development will change as they get older. All perimenopause to male menopause, so that young men can be more expectant, so that they can engage in intelligent conversations, informative conversations with the elders, the elder males, be they paternal or maternal grandfathers, so that they can get some idea about their elder years. So much of what we experience in our growth and development is biological. A lot of the challenges that your grandparents and great-grandparents face, you will face. So getting a heads up on things like osteoporosis, glaucoma, and things of that nature means taking early steps during puberty and adolescence to prepare for the challenges we face. If you're anticipating issues with bone disease in your youth, your calcium, vitamin D, exercise to strengthen bones, and prepare yourself so that your body's healthier and stronger as you enter those latter years. That is just an example. Exploring male menopause and the challenges that we face, everything from cancer and arthritis to other unique erectile dysfunctions. All of these things need to be discussed in detail and understood long before a period in life in which it will become a challenge. The idea is to be proactive and prepare better for our in terms of our health and well-being. And that's just one aspect, or the most important responsibility one generation has is the preservation of the generation before them. Preservation of the wisdom, the knowledge, the education, the experience, the tools, the resources, inventions, and discovery, spiritual aspects of life in terms of testimonials and regarding a fellowship with the true and living God, morality, ethics, the whole 9 yards. But they also have a responsibility to work with those of their generation and era, to protest, to march, to develop and preserve the way of life. And then, of course, for the generation that follows, we have to lay the foundation for the children that come behind our children, and then teach our children how to raise our grandchildren. So we were observing yesterday, we're studying and exploring and making our additions to today, and then we're learning how to prepare our young people to receive and pass down what is being taught. This is cyclical, and it's a process that we have to define and improve. With so many people coming from broken homes and blended families, and so many people in foster care growing up without that history, this poses a very special challenge in the Black community, but one that we will address responsibly. And there's no doubt in my mind that the Moor Society will succeed in improving our way of life as a people and advancing Black men and Black women and the Black family. Recordings like this are dedicated to uh, advancing our potential members and those who have an interest in the Moor Society. Uh, Go to moorsociety.com. That's a private community. You enter that by invitation only. If you go to moorsociety.org, that is our official website. Subscribe to this channel, and you can receive a heads up on other recordings created, designed to bring enlightenment, to bring insight, to broaden the perspective of those interested parties. Check out our channels: Moor Society, channels The Making of a Moor Woman, channels The Making of a Moor Marriage and Family. There'll be more recordings coming, and I hope that that while we provide information that's useful and beneficial to everybody. I thank you for your time. I'll see you soon.